All right, grasshoppers. 11 o'clock all around the world. Well, it's not. What am I talking about? It's not 11 o'clock all around the world. Hold on. He's not here, but here he's coming on right now. Hold on. Mark Putvick, you're live, so don't say anything inappropriate. Mark Putvick, we're live.
Hey.
We're live.
All righty.
How are you doing? Well, look at Santa. Humbug. Yes, there he goes. Is that your attire that you missed?
Yeah, let me shut that light off. Yeah, but that's it.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That wasn't very creative, I gotta tell you.
Well, it's seasonal, man.
Yeah, good point. You know, you have a valid point. It should be so critical.
It's seasonal.
Yeah, very nice.
You're a rough guy. Yeah, I got the
nice.
ball going and everything.
Now, do you wear that like on Christmas Day? Like you get up and
I wear right up to Easter.
right up to Easter? So now, are you? You're a mess there today. You're walking all over the place. So now, will you get up? You and Beth get up like and exchange presents. Get up early in the morning.
We
Christmas
don't
Day.
get up any earlier, but yeah, we do exchange.
Good.
It's a routine day.
Yeah, it's a routine day, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all excited. You decorate a lot. I can see
Sorry?
Beth's got some stuff up there, right? Beth's got some decorations around the house.
Oh yeah, she does that. Well, she was an art major, so the house really looks nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was a
So-
fart major. I was a fart major.
Yeah, me too. Still am.
Yeah, definitely. How is everything going? Are you all prepared for Christmas? Done all your shopping?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Right. And you do not have a turkey again for Christmas, right? You go with the
No, like a
roast?
prime roast
Prime
or
rib
whatever.
roast?
Yeah.
Do you cook that?
No, her brother does. Yeah. So
Oh, you go out there?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all I got to do is show up and eat.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Would you guys have had a Santa on diet? Well, we have talked about this before. It's setting a bad example for everybody else that it's okay to be obese, right?
Well,
That's-
I don't know so the other day, two things I saw in the paper. One was that In-N-Out Burger out of California, they opened up the very first one in Idaho. Yeah, Idaho. And people camped out literally for like 8 hours.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah. And like this is the power of marketing and
Oh, yeah.
brainwashing people.
Totally. Right.
Did anybody ever camp like staying online for 8 hours to get a piece of free range chicken or
Yeah, I know.
grass fed beef? Right. I mean, this is
So, that's a very good point. Why would
Yeah.
somebody wait like 8 hours for an opening of a
to
restaurant?
get poisoned.
Yeah.
But the other interesting article, which relates to you, I'm not making this up. So they've done some research on DNA, and people who are early risers have direct DNA connection to Neanderthals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense. I mean, they had to be up early to.
right. So I'm related to Neanderthal.
You are a Neanderthal. Yeah. Because you're continuing the tradition.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. And what would be the characteristics of a Neanderthal? Like, how would you define a Neanderthal?
Knuckle dragger.
That's true because I can't do push-ups on my palms because I broke both my wrists, so they don't bend backwards.
There you go.
So I have to do push-ups on my. When I tried out for Survivor, they had to do with you put your hands on the ground, your butt's up in the air. What's that called? And you're crawling.
Alligator crawl. Or,
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no, crab crawl.
Yeah, crab crawl.
Yeah.
And so it was on a cement floor, and I had to do it on my knuckles. There's no other way of doing it.
Yeah.
And the young people that are working there, they got really quiet. And then I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, we've never seen anybody do that before." I said,
Meanwhile, they're all full of blood, right?
Yeah, I totally. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what Ivory's got it going here today. Would any of you fine gents ever consider a polar bear plunge? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Let's get that done.
Yeah.
Have you done that before, Mark?
No, I haven't. But we went for a hike. I wasn't really a polar bear. We went for a hike. It was pretty cold out. Bill Brown and Joe Palermo went for a little dip. I think Johnny did too, Coruscant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Johnny moved. He was moving to Brazil, right?
Pretty soon. Yeah, I think in fact, I know he's still here, but he's moving, I think, out right after the holiday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's our veteran here, Barry Shelley, the monster of a human being there in Cooperstown,
he's
New
the
York.
best. Morning back.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Although his attendance in the show has been a little bit spotted.
I think he wasn't feeling well a little bit.
Oh,
he said,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that email or anything like that. He didn't notify me. So, okay, I need to go over something one more time. I'm not getting the grasp on this. Bacon. Yeah. So bacon is okay when it is, but not just
so organic, uncured bacon.
uncured.
is actually very healthy for you. It's loaded with monounsaturated fat, which is extremely heart healthy.
Okay.
Now, like everything else, you don't need a pound of it, but
Right.
I think what's happened, Tom, is that so I was reading something about peanut butter. It's also very high in monounsaturated fats.
Right.
It has a lot of, it's got some good source of protein, but also fiber. But again, don't eat Jiffy, which is sugar and,
Okay.
and everything else. Just eat real, organic, one ingredient. In fact, I saved this for you. I took a photo of it. It's pretty interesting. What it was, I don't know if you can see it. So on the, let me get this right now. So on this one here, closest to me, is bison. It's deer. It's venison. That's all it is. One ingredient. This is a vegetable patty.
Right.
And it has water, pea protein, expelled pressed canola oil. Anything pressed, any cold oils, poison. Refined coconut oil, more oil. Rice protein, natural flavors, whatever that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I mean, dog crap could be a natural flavor.
Yeah.
Anyway, cocoa butter. It's like at 17 ingredients.
Right. Okay.
The other one,
Gotcha.
one ingredient.
So I got that powdered peanut powder. You just add water. You just add water to it, right?
Why? Just buy a jar of organic.
Okay, so where do you get so I go to Costco and it's got I try to
Funny you
bacon.
ask.
Oh.
I just got it before.
Where'd you get it?
Acme. So it's a brand called Organics. They have a lot of organic products. And here's the ingredients: dry roasted organic peanuts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bacon then. So I can't get like regular because I ran it through my Yucca, that app. It gave it a 0 out of 100. How bad it was, all the junk in it.
Well, yeah, because if the normal bacon that we used to consume and most people still do, loaded with nitrates, and I've said how that converts in your body to a
okay, so where do you get this uncured bacon then?
Everybody has it now. If you just got to do a little searching in the grocery store.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, like even my store, there's no rhyme or reason to where they keep the regular bacon and the organic bacon's way over there for some reason.
Okay.
If you ask, they'll tell you where to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Like so, I don't think Costco's got uncured bacon. I don't.
Probably not because they're dealing with such a large volume.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Costco. It's got a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of preservatives in their food, right? Because they're have to last a long time.
I mean, there's like photos of a Twinkie from like 1965. It's still, you could unwrap it and eat it. I think somebody did something with a cheeseburger from McDonald's, just left it out there for years and it just never decomposed.
It's amazing, right? That's the big thing you talk about doing your research, right? No, Danny, that will not happen. Although I did get a slice of pizza there one time. I said I was getting my tires changed or something like that at Costco. So I went and got a slice of pizza. I said, I'm going to spurge today. I felt awful.
Dirty water tube steak.
Oh God, it felt awful eating that pizza. Yeah. Made homemade pizza last night.
I saw that. Looked great, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Homemade sauce there. The only thing that was store bought was the mozzarella. And cheese has got a lot of sodium in it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sodium gets a bad rap. I mean, you can overdo it, obviously,
right?
But you do need sodium.
Darren Beach, there's the man right there.
There you go.
He's the chef too.
Darren.
If pizza was good, Darren, thank you. Yes, we have our little. We don't have competitions. He's a good cook too. He likes to cook.
He's a good player. I remember the Capitals, right?
Yeah,
right-handed D-man. Yeah. And then I think he played over in Europe a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Where to get organic M&Ms? No, Ira, don't be joking around. Ira's really worked on his fitness. He's gotten a lot. He's lost like 20
he did.
pounds.
Yeah, I saw some photos he posted. He looks good. Keep it up, man.
There's our friend Jessica Danahy. Good morning to you, magical creature.
There you go.
Polar bear plunge. Let me see. Polar bear plunge in Long Beach. Rangers look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah, I did. I was at probably about 3 or 4 years ago. A hockey youth hockey organization out in Long Island had a whole big festival, like opening day for hockey. So they had a dunk tank. So I said, I got to get in. So we were going to try to set it up. They were going to do another one at Christmas time or whatever, and have another dunk tank that I would get in, try to raise some money for them. So I'd love to do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they gotta put ice in it now, so you get a benefit out of it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
So Keith Morano, who calls in, he's one of my buddies. He has it in his backyard. I haven't got over there yet, but
he's got a dog tank? Or is
Yeah.
it the
the ice bath.
oh the ice
Yeah.
bath?
Mhm.
Now, are you big on that? You believe in that science?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's a great thing to for inflammation. It's gonna bring inflammation down. It's also like a little bit here.
right.
But I
And
mean,
I
if
suppose
you-
it's really good for your immune system too, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So like what I'll do now when it gets really cold, like when it's 20 degrees, I'll go for a hike. And then when I'm really heated up, I'll get down to my skin. I mean, keep my pants on. Obviously, I don't want to frighten a deer. Or have them laugh actually. But anyway, so I'll get bare chested and I'll do some shadow boxing or stuff for about 20 minutes. And it's really immune boosting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also burns a lot of calories when you're shivering.
Right.
I mean, that's why if you look at Eskimos, their diet's fat, just pure fat, because they're so cold that they would perish. if
Okay,
they-
so how about the hot sauna or the red flash or hot flash sauna?
Very good for you also. Sauna's got a lot of health benefits to it.
But it's just like the red, is it the
Yeah, there's a red sauna, but I mean, any sauna in general is very good for you. And when I was in Russia, they had like 5 or 6 different in a hotel, like saunas. And then you'd go out and you'd pull the rope and a bucket of ice water would drop on you.
Oh.
So you're getting that like this.
My second year pro, we had training camp in Finland. Place called Camp Viramäki, and they had the same thing in Finland. It's a big thing, as you know. Had the saunas and then go jump in the lake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we had a few beers too, obviously. But
Well, we were on vacation a while back and we were in Dominican Republic and the spa had the sauna. So I go in there and like just do some shadow boxing. Then I would I'll go outside and jump in the cold water in the pool and then just keep doing that back and forth. It's a good workout. Yeah.
Very cool. You're a sick puppy.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be on vacation.
But it isn't like you look at a place like Finland, like it just oozes of kind of like the health of the lifestyle, right? Like things like that. Yeah.
That's why in Sydney and Sweden, you see guys in a business suit riding a bicycle to work.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And what happened this weekend? Anything exciting? Our Jets and Giants both lost.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh man, they were both bad. That was bad.
Zach Wilson. Back to reality.
I missed.
Back to reality.
How did he get hit? He got sacked and hit his head.
You got a dinger.
And then same with Tommy DeVito, right?
Yeah.
I liked him though. He was fighting. He didn't want to go out, right?
You know what? The artificial turf, I get it. It's cheaper. You don't have to maintain it. But man, it just beats the crap out of guys.
Yeah.
And I miss the old guys that are full of mud on them. And remember Dick Buckus having a clump of turf hanging out his mask, his helmet. Yeah, I mean,
I think DeVito's the real deal as quarterback. I think he's real.
I think he certainly has more upside than Wilson.
I know.
Then again, I will give him this. There's like the 5th or 6th string offensive line.
Yeah.
And you cannot play in the NFL without.
Especially when
just
you're
can't do it.
Yeah, you're a young guy just getting going. Like the veteran, maybe like a Tom Brady who knows how to get
Even
rid of the
that.
ball.
Listen, Brady used to go back there to look like flag football because he'd stand back there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
It's such a great offensive line.
And where are you at there in the coaching here? Like Saleh is for the Jets coach. What do you think of him?
I don't know. I don't blame him per se. Management. I mean, how can you get it wrong so many times in a row with quarterbacks? We talked about this last week. Wilson, Sam Darnold, Sanchez, Geno Wilson, and then Geno Wilson goes somewhere else and he's playing good ball.
But let's take Sanchez for example. Like he had 2 years there where he went to the semifinals, right?
Yeah, 1 game away from the bowl.
Yeah. And he looked like a good. Then they brought in what's his name, Tim Tebow. I admire Tim Tebow totally, but
why'd you do that?
Yeah,
you know why? You know how many jerseys they sold?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Let me see here. Barry Shelley, he's a fountain of knowledge too. Congrats to Sam Rosen, inducted in the New York State Hockey Hall of Fame. Nice, very cool.
Yeah,
Sam Rosen, one of the nicest people.
Yeah,
him and Kenny Albert. Like it's almost scary how nice they are. Like usually somebody has been that successful. There's a little bit of an ego there, which is expected. But those guys are just like the nicest people on the planet.
Man, absolutely.
Like, Kenny Albert too. He is like he does football, hockey.
Yeah,
you do anything.
Sam used to do a lot of boxing.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, and he did NFL as well. Right?
He was really. I liked him for boxing. He was good, very good. Yeah,
good. Such a nice man. Like seriously, you see him at an event, and you just like sometimes you think. Like I say that to him. I said, like, are you really that nice?
His kid played high school hockey up here. I forget where they lived.
Yeah,
it was years ago.
Yeah.
Some of the kids I was training are going. Every time a kid would score, it's a power play goal.
It's cool how guys get like a saying that they're kind of known for, right?
Yeah.
Like who was it? Howie. It was Howie. What was Howie's last name that did the Matteau goal, the game-winning goal?
Oh yeah, I know
That's
him.
awful. I know him
Yeah.
too. That's terrible. I should,
Because he went over to the Islanders, didn't he?
yeah, that's right.
And
And he does the Mets as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Howie?
Well, I mean, one of the more famous ones is "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." I mean, that guy trademarked that,
Yeah.
copyrighted or whatever, it made millions.
Thanks, Ira. Your Ira's Howie Rose.
Howie Rose, yeah.
Yeah. His voice now, like, because all hockey fans remember, like Ranger fans especially, they remember his voice. Oh goodness, what did I do this weekend? Really didn't do much. Nasty weather last night too. Weekend without storms.
Yeah, my neighbor said some of the roads are flooded here in Jersey.
Oh well.
Yeah, so I got to head out after, but yeah, we'll see.
What else was I going to talk to you about today that was exciting? Have you watched this? Like we're the old school guys, but I watched some hockey videos, like of confrontations on the ice.
Yeah,
it's a whole different game now.
Oh God, yeah. You know, I went to so this guy. That's 20 years ago. Bruce Driver and I had this junior. It was I think I told you it was an overage league. You could play to your 22nd birthday, and it was a fun. I think 80% of the team were Canadian. Like this is their 6th or 7th year junior. You know, they were talented guys, but they had some issues. But anyway, so we had. I was the general manager, and I hired this guy Dave Lorai. He had Bruce knew him from Wisconsin when Bruce played at Wisconsin, and he had coached on the East Coast with Reading Royals and bounced around and stuff like that. So anyway, his kid's playing for Boston now. He was their first pick 2 years ago.
Oh,
he's a defenseman. So they were playing Jersey. So he called me up, said, "You're around, go to the game with me." Man, it's not. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Reaching, turning.
Oh.
Nobody finishes. Nobody. You know how we used to say, "Keep your feet moving, go through the guy," and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And we knew, like, you pass the puck, you still have 3 or 4 seconds where you're going to get walloped, right?
Yeah.
Now guys just turn.
How about Gretzky? I think we talked about this already. Gretzky coming out and saying that there shouldn't be any hitting unless you're in a league that's going to the NHL or something.
He'd have had 5,000 goals a shift.
I know. Yeah, it's funny. Like if Gretzky had played today, like where there's no hooking and holding, he watched those old games where people are hooking and holding. It's surprising he got so many points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean, the product, again, like all sports, is so diluted now because there's so many teams. Because when you were an anomaly playing in the National Hockey League defense at your age.
Yeah.
What were you, 22?
21 when I started, yeah.
21, even then, because guys played a couple, 2-3 years in the American League.
Totally.
You know, to learn, the biggest thing back then was, especially for forwards, was learning to play without the puck, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's just, I don't know, man. And the overtime.
And I'm going to disagree a little bit with you. I don't think there's a talent is less. I just think that the game, the style of the game, and the way the players play.
The talent is, the skill set now is through the roof.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it was a meaner. You played it. It was like you say, barbaric. I mean,
Well, you hit the hurt. I heard Paul Holmgren say that one time when they were changing some of the rules, and he was the GM in Philly, and he got interviewed by somebody. He said, "Well, we used to hit the hurt." That's
absolutely.
Yeah. Intimidation was a huge part of it, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, remember Thomas Kluchek.
Yeah.
He thumped Ray Ferraro a couple times, and Ray wouldn't come down his side of the ice after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it was smart, but kind of like, and we used to see what we call perimeter players, right? Guys would come in and turn up because they knew they had to pay a price.
Yeah, it's funny because you got that reputation for being a hitter. Like you hit all the time. And then sometimes where some forwards just wouldn't want to come down your side at all.
Right, That's not a knock on Ray Ferraro, but I'm just saying the game was different.
Yeah.
And
Brian, so Ray Ferraro's got that really distinctive voice too, right? He's on TV a lot. So Brian Boucher, former client of mine, he does a fantastic imitation. Of Ray Ferraro. Oh, he did and I was just dying. He's excellent at it. Brian Boucher is. Like even I think Ray's got a little bit of a lisp, I think too, and Boucher's got that down as well. It's pretty funny. He didn't want me to. He said he was on a plane with Spittin' Chicklaloose and Biz Nasty, Paul Bissonnette, and Biz had him do the Ray Ferraro one. And then Biz went on his radio show or his podcast and told everybody. But Bruce didn't want it out there publicly because he was somewhat derogatory towards Ray because of the lisp and everything. But I said, "Don't worry about it." Ray's heard a lot.
I was watching. So Aaron Asham was on. He was talking about.
Yeah.
Did you see that one? Where
is that about getting in the fight with the nurses?
So they 5 male nurses. I think it was in Colorado.
Yeah.
They went for a few beers and they were chirping at Marty, blah, 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 blah. And I guess he had enough.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, guys, let's go. And he goes, and the funny part is, I threw 5 punches. He remembered exactly.
Yeah. He said, I think he said 6.
Yeah.
He said, no, it was 5. Yeah.
5. Yeah, he corrected himself because each one dropped the guy or something.
Yeah,
It was
that's
pretty
funny.
good.
I remember seeing that interview. Yeah, that's funny.
And then I don't know if you saw, speaking of imitations, Jack Eichel does Kessel, like,
Oh, really?
oh my God,
Oh,
hysterical. Because
that's funny.
I guess he was headbanging with somebody in the locker room, and they collided, and they both had they're leaking and had to get sewn up. And
Yeah.
he imitates Phil. It was phenomenal. Really funny stuff.
I tell you, I love Phil Kessel. He does his own thing. He doesn't care what anybody thinks.
God.
He showed up. Like the way he played when he
Yeah.
was in Pittsburgh there, it's like he should have won MVP in the playoffs.
Well, the stories I believe him because I've heard more than one where he'll just walk in the weight room and how much you got, and then he'll exceed it, and then he'll walk out.
Right. Yeah.
Like whether it's a bench press or squat or whatever. And they said like he could dunk a basketball in high school. He's just a
It's
freak.
amazing how people get reputations, right? Good and bad. Like, you know,
Mhm.
he's in Toronto. They said he was the last guy on the ice, the first guy off.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. But man, he goes watch him play. He's a good player.
I remember, I think it was on the island. Theo came back to the bench. He goes, he just scored. He goes, looks at me, goes, easy game when you have talent.
Oh, sorry. How about the interview with Pierre Maguire, where Pierre was asking him how his conditioning was, but he says, "How's your breath?" And Phil took it that he had bad breath.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what do I have?
Yeah, Pierre Maguire. I don't know.
You know, I like him because he's got an opinion. Doesn't mean I agree with his opinion all the time. I think that's how he made his kind of shtick, right? Is that he's Mr. Opinionated.
Yeah. I think what annoyed me, I don't need to know what T-ball team the guy was on.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, like it got a little bit stupid.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Kevin Weeks is pretty good at his job too, but he does that. He's always and I don't blame him. He's always like, "Oh, I talked to the coaches of this team yesterday." You know, he wants to make it seem like
He's got an inside.
Yeah, and I'd admire for that. Yeah,
Well, sometimes they do, and it's interesting.
he's done. You think of a guy that was basically a backup goaltender, and the career he's built for himself now on
Yeah.
TV. Weeks,
Well, look at Biz.
yeah, true.
What did
Yeah.
he play? A couple hundred? I don't even know if he played more than 100 games.
Yeah, he jokes around like he was on fifth line or whatever, and
Yeah.
there they play.
Hey,
Yeah,
good for him, man.
totally.
Yeah.
And here's a guy like I was critical of PK Subban and Sean Avery for
Mhm.
really thinking about their after playing careers
Mhm.
while they were playing. It kind of took away from their game, but that wasn't the way of Bissonnette. Bissonnette really, he was a fighter.
Hey, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, but he
Well,
built-
I see Sean popping up on my Instagram feed a lot.
Sean Avery.
Yeah, and you know what? He really knows the game. I mean,
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
really knows the game, and he has some really insightful stuff to say. And he's a guy that's not going to sugarcoat anything. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So, by the way, a couple of years ago, my son Sean was running.
you told me this.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he had his shirt off, and he goes by, and he goes, "Put a shirt on." He turns around. It's Avery wanted, like, yeah.
So how did your son handle that? Did he say, "Listen, hey, you're Sean Avery"?
Well, Avery probably wanted, fight
Yeah.
him, which probably would not have been the best,
Yeah.
smartest move to make because
Yeah.
Sean could fight. But Sean just said, "Hey, my dad knows you," and then he told me it was, "Oh,
Oh.
yeah, Mark," blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
Kind of diffused the situation.
Oh.
But
cool.
yeah,
This guy,
what kind of
what's
crazy?
he yelling at somebody with his shirt off for?
Well, I tell you what happened. We were out by Beth's. I won't. Well, yeah, we were out somewhere on the island,
Right.
and we were on the beach, and we went to Beth wanted to get something to eat, and so I'm sitting outside. And this guy's eyeing me up. I'm like, "Oh God, man, what now?" And it was him. I go, "What the hell is he doing here?" Hey,
Sean
what's going
Avery?
on? Yeah. So he goes,
Oh.
"What's going on, Mark?" I said, "Hey, we're out here." I go, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "I live here." I go, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm building. What do you say? Designing homes." What do you know about
Oh,
that?
is that right? Right.
So that same night, right? He's crazy, man. Because the same night, I'm watching the local news, like News 12, and he got arrested because he had gone to the same town we were staying
Right.
in, complaining about people speeding down his street,
Oh,
and he wanted them to put a speed bump, and the
Right.
town was like, "Nah, it's not going to happen." So he got arrested because he's out there throwing rocks at cars going too fast. Same day. Yeah.
oh, all right. So I go to the beach. So there's one beach we go to. There's a bigger beach, a little farther away from my house. I can walk to one that's closer.
Mhm.
And I like it more than one that's closer because they've got a pool there. There's a gated area where the beach is and the pool, and a big, huge sign saying "No dogs." States the town law and a whole bit.
Yeah.
So it's very clear. There's no dogs allowed. So of course, do you think people still will bring their dogs in there? Absolutely. So I'm in there, and I'm trying not to be like Sean Avery. I'm trying to say, okay, if they keep their dog way over there, I go onto the beach, and there's a guy there with his dog. He's got the leash on the dog, but he's not holding on to the leash. The dog's just dragging into the beach. So I walk onto the beach. First thing the dog does as soon as it sees me, just bolts towards me, tries to bite me. He's barking at me, biting me. And I'm thinking, it's not a huge dog. Okay, if I kick it in the head, it's going to knock its teeth out or something like that. So I'm trying to not hurt the dog. So I'm kicking sand at him to get away. Now, the more sand I'm kicking at the dog, the more mad it's getting.
Sure.
And then the guy, like, he doesn't apologize or say, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry." He's looking at me like he's mad at me. Like, the dog's not supposed to be in here in the first place. Oh,
well,
man. So,
I won't name the guy, but in New Jersey here is he, everybody gets a PBA card.
right. Yeah.
So he's going in to get something after practice, pizza place or something. And the guy cuts him up. He hops out with the shield. I
Oh,
said, dude, you can't do that, man. That's like impersonating an officer. It's not cool.
yeah. I tell you what, I do get a little bit of that. I'm bad in that people are speeding where, like, it's okay for me to speed, but not for them. Right? I'm terrible that way. Although I do my best not to speed in town. Like on the highway, I don't know. I just, like, for whatever reason, and I say to myself too when I get on the road, like, Tom, you don't have to go 80 miles an hour. Let's get on the road, and it's like it's a competition or something.
Couple Christmases, it was a Christmas day, so I'm walking the dog, and it's 25 miles an hour out here.
Right.
And this guy comes like with a charred, nice car, but he's like doing 70.
Right.
He can't hear me because it's winter,
Right.
and I just went, slow down.
Oh, you did get that one? Okay.
He hits the brakes, rolls down his windows, typical Jersey guy. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you shut the F up? I went, shut me up.
Oh, nice.
And then he didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
He kind of,
So
he got all frustrated, put it in first, and laid like 60 feet of rubber. Like,
so where I go for walks days, there's a school, so they get the 20-mile-an-hour, the signs flashing the whole bit.
Yeah. And
this young kid's got his like BMW or something. He comes flying through there. So I'm the same thing. I was going to the crossing walk, and he wasn't going to stop. He's supposed to stop for the crossing walk. So I gave him I stopped in the middle of the road, gave him the hand signal, and so he stops.
Yeah.
And I guess he didn't realize. Once he took a look at me, then he was like, I said,
man, I shouldn't mess with this.
Did you make a mistake there, sir? Oh, God, it's funny. Isn't that?
Well, I made a critical error. I had my mom on the speakerphone, and I'm at a red light, and it turned green. I didn't take off fast enough for the guy behind me.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's another red light. You know how, like, on the highway, there's all
Sure.
this. Right? So now I had my window down. I guess it was summertime, and he goes, "Hey," he looks at me and goes, "Go F yourself." So I said, "Well, I actually can, because I'm so big. I can wrap it around." and then I'm saying all this stuff to him, and I forgot my mother's on the speaker.
Oh.
She's hearing the whole conversation. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when that dog, I got my blood pressure.
And then she did say, by the way, when I said it's so big, she goes, "You're lying." I was like,
Oh, isn't it funny how you get the blood pressure going too? Like sometimes, like
I'm much better with that now. Now
I know.
you know.
I usually am too, but yeah. And then once it's over with, you kind of laughing at yourself, like, what am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And all kidding aside, it's too dangerous to even do that now.
Yeah.
Guys are gonna just because
Somebody's got a gun or whatever.
yeah, it's just not worth it.
I'll tell you, my worst thing I have going now though is people running red lights. It seems like more and more now people just
Oh,
do
yeah.
not care.
I don't
Right.
like so there's a trestle out here pretty close to where we live. I always wait because it's like a blind side. You can't see.
Right.
And people consistently run that red light. So
Yeah.
I wait and then I go, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's almost like you got to be a really good defensive driver now. You just can't assume
Yeah.
that somebody's going to. The other one too, like I told you, I went to truck driving school. Back when was with the Rangers, and to tell you what, don't
Wait a
ever
minute.
trust. What?
Why did you go to truck driving
Oh,
school?
I never told you that story.
No.
So growing up on the farm,
Yeah.
the dairy would come in with the big trucks to pick
Mhm.
up our milk. Big semi trucks and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I grew up driving pickup trucks and all that, but I always wanted to drive one of the big trucks that had like the.
Oh, it's just something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Rangers started this program where they paid for you to go to school, assuming that people are going to go like the Harvard Business School or something like that. So I was hanging around during the summer. I picked up, I never forget, it's New York Post.
I
and they had
love it.
a big sign, the back page for an advertisement that said
Drivers Training Institute.
Superior Truck Driving School. So I called the Rangers up. I said, I'm going to school. And they're all excited. I think I was one of the first guys who was going to use the program.
Oh my God.
And I said, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm going to truck driving school.
That's
I went
awesome.
up. Yeah, went up to it's near Binghamton. For 3 weeks. The hotel room cost me $250. I had the nicest hotel room, the only one with a bathroom. The rest of them had the.
Where was this, in Binghamton?
It's just outside of Binghamton.
Yeah, I've been there. It's not much going on.
Yeah, not much. Yeah. So and again, there's no computers or anything like that back then, so there's no internet. So they really didn't know who I was. And first week we're in the yard. No, first week we're in the classroom. And that's the reason I bring this up is don't trust truck drivers. It's some of the biggest mudheads. I'm sorry to say it, that's not fair. Not all of them, obviously, but
Yeah.
So I got there and the guys just got in the classroom and I said, oh man, this is hard stuff. Really, basically they're teaching you the rules. and you can only drive 10 hours out of 24. So you
Mhm.
have to figure out that, okay, if I'm only going to drive
You're
10,
right.
that means there's 14 are left. So they came to me the second week. They were in the yard, figuring out how to back up and hook up and all that kind of stuff. And the guy comes walking out. It was hot during the day, so we're doing our class at night. And he comes walking out. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I go, "What do you mean?" He says, "We know who you are now. What are you doing?" I just want to go truck show. It was a blast though. Like the
That's
last week.
awesome.
Oh yeah, the last week road driving around the roads up there. It's all farm country in the whole bit.
Yeah.
And so there's the cab in the back. So the one guy drives, the instructor's in the passenger seat. There's two guys in the back, and then you rotate through. And so the one guy we had in our group was a cab driver from the city. He would not stop at stop signs. He didn't stop. And the instructor was just losing his mind. They finally stopped the truck, pushed him outside, left him out in the middle of the road because he wouldn't. It's in the middle of nowhere. They finally went back and got him. It was a blast.
That's
yeah.
phenomenal.
So I never drove. I went and got my license here locally in White Plains, but then never drove the truck after that. Yeah, I remember the guys in the team were the same reaction you had. Like, what are you doing?
I love it, man.
It was one of those things I look back at, and like it's the same thing like going on Survivor. Like, okay, I wanted to win $1 million, but it was more just I wanted to do it, right? I've been lucky that way. I've always had that. And I didn't grow up in that really environment. Like my parents were really like strict people, farm people. It wasn't like they were out doing wild stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But I think you know what it is too. So I had this conversation. I can't remember who was with talking about anxiety. And you've been through this stuff too. Like, so you think when you're a kid growing up, if you're constantly trying out for new hockey teams or boxing or whatever it is, you're constantly putting yourself in that outside your comfort zone. You're anxious, but you just become used to it, right? Very cool.
Yeah. Well, and what's good about it too is for you, it was such a departure from everyday.
Yeah.
Going to practice and playing games. It was kind of cathartic.
It really was
a break from hockey.
Yeah. That's why, like Glenn Anderson, for whatever reason, when he found out I was on Survivor, he would see me at events and he goes, "You went on Survivor." Like, here's this guy that's won 6 Stanley Cups.
He was mesmerized by
it. And he was just fascinated by the fact that I went on Survivor. That's pretty cool. That really did teach me a lot, though, because I mean this in a very good way. We go to events, the 94 guys who won the Cup, Brian Leach, Mike Richter, Mark Messier. You kind of defer to them a little bit because they won the Cup. And I realized, and again, total respect for those guys for what they did, but I realized, well, they're no different than me. They're not better or worse. They just won the Cup in 94. So when I go to these events now, I don't feel like I need to defer to them as much.
Oh, yeah, you never should have.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's understanding how you could.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing, right? How we kind of talk ourselves into things, right? Like you talked about before, there's people lining up to go to a fast food restaurant for 8 hours. Like what?
Yeah, and it could work against you. I remember we had a fight in Long Island, and the other guy I was training with was driving, and the fighter was in the back. Pro fight,
right?
And he said, "He goes, I don't feel good about tonight." And I said to myself,
"Yeah,
good man." And he got stopped in the second round.
I know. Is that true? Like you talk yourself into stuff. You talk yourself into things too, right?
Sure. He had a preconceived notion he was going to lose.
Yeah.
And the sad part was, first round he owned the guy.
Yeah.
He hurt the guy, and then he got in the second round. He got him up on the ropes. We call it shoe shining. He was shoe shining the guy.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but you can shoe shine, then you got to move. You can't stay there.
Right.
And the guy was just put his earmuffs on and waited for an opening. Then boom, hit him with a hook.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. What were we calling? You were something else that you were. Was it a video you posted recently? There's another technique we were talking about.
In terms of what? What was it?
Some punching move that you were talking about. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Was that Bill Brown you were training with the other day?
Yeah, up on top of the mountain. Yeah.
He's a beast. I would not want to fight him.
No. Well, the thing is, he's a big man. He's a really strong dude.
Yeah.
And he's got that other part of it.
Psycho to him.
Yeah.
So Bill Brown's a retired Navy SEAL. We say psycho. Total respect for him and stuff.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But I remember he was talking about fighting Brad, and he knocked Brad out or knocked him down.
Well, no. Well, so Brad knocked Bill down in the first round, and then in the second or whatever it was, Bill came back. But the thing about Bill is, because of his mindset and his training,
right?
It's on. Like there's no,
He made a comment we had him on the show talking about there's a chapter in David Goggins' book that was dedicated to Bill. Is that accurate?
Yeah, chapter 4 is all about Bill.
Does he name him?
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that.
So they went through buds together,
right?
And I think they may have been deployed together in Iraq, but I know for sure they went through buds. And Bill's nickname was Freak Brown.
Oh.
And Bill be more than happy to tell you. So what happens when you go into buds, they categorize you either as really smart or a blockhead,
Right.
or a rockhead, and they put Bill into that rockhead.
Remember him
category.
saying that? Yeah.
But he's not. I mean, the guy's an attorney, so he's a
Yeah.
bright guy.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, maybe his demeanor, he's a
The way
tough
he
guy.
talks about it,
He's
yeah, sure.
and he'll tell you he grew up really hard scrabble life. He had a rough and tumble life growing up,
Right.
and but Goggins to that point, and then even Kenny Bigby tells a story when they were training at one time. I forget exactly, it was Desert Warfare or whatever, but they were a team, Bigby and Brown, and they had to get to so I guess the officers or whoever was running this particular drill that they were in some kind of structure, and they had to get there without being seen, and they had comms, communications, and I guess Bigby's like, Brown, where are you? Where are you? He goes, I'm under the building. He somehow made his way up. He's underneath. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, those guys, and I think we picked up on it also when we talked to Zach Harrison, who was Delta Force. They're a different breed, and they just there's no stop. Like
Yeah.
they're just gonna go till they get to the finish line.
You know what I like with those guys too? They're very definitive. Like there's no
Mhm.
halfway. If you ask them a question, like I asked Zach, I think, should we have gone to Afghanistan? I think I
Mhm.
asked him that without question.
Without
Yes,
hesitation,
question.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then every guy that I've ever met, the SEALs and Delta guys are all like that. It's just, that's a good, there's a way
Yeah,
to do
just-
it. There's a way.
He was just down in Maryland duck hunting. I saw him post some stuff up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool dudes.
Good man.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to go to the beach today, see if I don't get attacked by a dog.
You're gonna go in the water? Why don't you do your plunge today?
Oh, I should do a plunge.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. People are going to think I'm nuts there, like in Granny's
That's
Connecticut.
too late.
Yeah. Good point. Excellent point by you. I like it. Excellent. All right, brother. Good to see you. Oh, so
All right,
we
man.
won't. What is Christmas Day on
It's
Monday?
next Monday, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we were not doing. I won't do a show. You'll be out.
Yeah.
You'll be out
We'll
there.
be celebrating the birth of Christ by putting a tree in the house.
I saw a great video of a dog. Somebody pretending that the dog was talking. Okay, let me get this straight. I can't bring a stick into the house, but you
Yeah,
can bring a big tree.
Well, that comedian Jim Gaffigan did a whole set on it. He says, any other time of the year you drag a house into a tree, like your wife or whatever's going, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm going to put it over in the corner there. I'm going to put lights on. It's going to look great.
I'm gonna water it. Then the petals are all the stuff's gonna fall over the floor. You gotta vacuum it.
Oh,
Oh God. I have my dance of Santa. That's my decoration. All right, brother. Well, so you have a fantastic
you
Christmas.
too.
And everybody, again, I know we're repeating this over and over, but it is the holiday season. A lot of people have some mental health issues. So again, we have that 988 hotline that you can use for suicide or just mental health issues. And we can all help each other a lot too. So
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.